for like 2 terms, right? He chopped 8 years. Where then who the Mills against Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
Mills came to power, but a lot of like a large section of Ghanaians do they believe say the Akufo administration wasn't bad, but still Mills came to power. So
Okay,
Because
so let me
we
help
all
you.
for
because
not
we
say
don't like
no no no
Akufo-Addo.
we
The
all for
reason
not
why,
say yeah we all for not say Muhammad Day like a very critical point, right? After this term, you don't get any chance to recontest, right? So it be totally new faces we they go
right?
present with, right? Where those new faces, I'm not sure say Ghanaians go talk say, oh, because Mahama falls, make we give the nod to the
But again,
NDC,
so
make them like it's
that is the
there's no
exceptional
guarantee.
dynamic. That is the
there's no
exceptional
there's
dynamic.
no
But let's go
guarantee.
back to 2000. Let's go back to 2008, as you said, right? With 2008, what happened was that Alan Sherman was seen as the established candidate for the NPP. And it was believed that the president at the time supported Alan Sherman against Akufo-Addo. So within MPP itself, there were internal wranglings where people decided not to even show up for Akufo-Addo because they thought Alan Sherman was going to do a better job, even though he succeeded to Akufo-Addo in their primaries. Now, what happened was that at the end of the election, NDC had also won majority in parliament already. Some of the elections delayed. In fact, we had to do 10 constituencies, I think, in the Brown Hartford region at the time. NDC had majority in parliament already, so the MPP boycotted that election, where they didn't vote. Before 10 and before other, I think 15 months or something like that, there were other constituencies, like two more, that had to re-vote or their votes were not added yet or something. But at the time, Nanado was leading. But when we boycotted 10 elections, we lost voting. That is where NDC came into power. But at the time of the 10th election, NDC already had majority. So the party felt like if NDC has majority, then obviously, even if we win the election, we are going to suffer. And also, there was an outstanding internal wrangling between the Alan section, which was seen as the establishment, and the Akufo-Addo section. Do you understand? So that is what actually happened. So the dynamics of this election, as you said, is that Mahama is leaving office. So we are not seeing an election between an incumbent or a certain president and an opposition government. We are seeing new faces. The both political parties are bringing new faces. And with NDC, we haven't really had any proper election for this one looks like a particular election where they have a lot of viable people presenting themselves to be candidates. If you look at the last election, it was between Mahama and Dr. Kufu, Dr. Dufour. Dr. Dufour, at the die-hard minute, a day before the primaries, stepped out or stepped down from the election. So we haven't really seen any proper contest with regard to election when it comes to the NDC. So this one will also be a very interesting one in terms of who will support who, how the party may be divided, how the party will unite for victory. That is the advantage MPP has by going for their context early. By next year, February, right, MPP will have a new flag bearer, where our constitution makes the flag bearer the leader of the party. A lot will happen with him. International bodies will engage with him, and he will have the ability to speak in a lot of places where the media will have to cover. He will eventually become popular. NDC will be waiting for the next or the last 2 years of Mohammed's term to, go and do their contest. And that is where Mohammed's administration may win them because at the time, most of the people that he might have appointed will have their own political agenda. So they may resort to, getting or wearing their election boots and showing themselves as presidential candidates, thereby making or diverting attention from government's work to NDC election machinery. That is the disadvantage for this Mohammed's last term, just because he doesn't have another term. Another reason is that because he's leaving office, people don't owe him that allegiance, where we can say that we will vote for whom Muhammad is supporting. You know, he doesn't carry that power because he's leaving office. You see, that is why the two people in the contest, who is the chief of staff and also the party chairman, who carry a lot of weight. One as the head of the political party in power, and one as the head of government's business. So, in a way, they are at par in terms of power and authority. You know, so it's a very clean contest. They are almost at par with the president in terms of party level, not constitutional level. They are so they all carry the same influence. So they may never have an establishment candidate where we will say that the presidency is supporting Julius Zembra. No, a lot of people are also in the presidency who go there because they see even Kesia vouch for them. So you cannot whip that person into line that presidency of Julius will be Uncle Julius. You may not really get that happening. That is why I was making that establishment candidate. I mean the 2008 conversation about Alan Sherman saying Kufuor, because we were a sitting president and was an incumbent president, even though it was his last term and we were in power, and everything was showing as though NPP was still going to win. He carried a lot of weight because he was dealing with a trade minister and a foreign affairs minister or an attorney general at the time. You know, so between the two, he carried a lot of power. So he could determine what should go. No, I think at the time, Alan Sherman was an ambassador to the United States. He wasn't even a minister, but he came with a lot of money. You know, so looked like he was the guy. Everybody wanted him to come, just like how Kufuor wanted Bawumia to come, and the silent Alan. You see, so then Bawumia became the establishment candidate. So within the NPP to right now, the leader of the party is the chairman. The chairman has taken a leave, a sick leave. Now our party chairman is an acting chairman, Chairman Buti, who doesn't carry enough power to whip anybody in line. So it's an equal and a fair ground where Kennedy and Bawumia are seen on the same level. We are not dealing with a vice president and a former MP. We are dealing with two men who want to be president or who want to be flag bearers of a political party. There is also a fair ground over there. So Bawumia now is not an establishment candidate where you can force MPs to support him. You can do that because we are not even in power. So everybody is equal now. Everybody can do whatever which they want to go see car. Then you also show money. That is why Brian Champon is working or talking about the money. So, talking about paying people 100,000 Ghana cedis a month, which is capable of doing. Talking about how they paid $1,005 to super delegates. You know, and all that, you hear that, I was disappointed hearing it because I felt that was too much money because if you calculate the money then he tried to come out, $1,005 for over 5,000 people, that's about $8 million just for super delegate conference. That was to reduce the number to 5 people. That one pay. You know, so money today play a role. So you see in this right now, money will play a role, and who the country or who the people want, they also play a role. You understand? So that this election is very, very, very interesting.
But Mr. Martin, Brian Champon and Poppy did the party side too, eh?
What you say?
Brian Champon and Poppy did the party side too, eh?
Brian Champon, not that I know of. Not that I know of. I don't really know him background in terms of.
So young boy where they enter political party where they do buga like that. Her.
But of course you get money. So the MP safe the vouch for some of the MPs, like you get some section of people with the vouch for. But right now if you hear any MPP person we don't really get any proper appointments or you could find it because actually they make up Brian on a scout. Money did that side. Crazy. Yeah, money did that side. Crazy. You see. So even to me they try fighting because you know see even if you're not chop, he present himself as the obvious next person. You see, so you get some future, but I mean, he's a reckless talker, but when the time comes,
he sounds a bit reckless. It's his Flossom, man.
Nah, then you know they did. You can go build the thing.
But he knows his Flossom.
Nah, he knows his Flossom.
Alright, cool. Interesting. But as an NPP guy, who you go like make you be the flag bearer?
So this one I'll not talk in terms of Ghana first. I'll talk in terms of NPP first. I feel Kennedy Japan has the power to unite the party. He's the one that people want. But Omiya has lost that touch. You know, he has lost that touch. And he is crying foul play in terms of tribal comments. But you started it. That's the Zongo people who vote for you and all that's going to money and call for. If an assassin says that you know, in as much as I don't like too much of those tribal comments as well. He was the one that introduced it. You know, another thing to see, I still see this one in the side back. You see why she get upper hand over. If you watch them,
you know.
If you watch them at the and then them appearances in public, the way go to smile at on the left side and switch it on the right as if hey, no, there's something about this woman we don't know.
You understand?
And I feel say he may not really be a better ruler because of the woman by him. You know, the bang by me being inside too much.
Too much bang by me, bro. You see, even with what they do as the day power, the woman in siblings do some actions where, as you say, Charlie.
Then go smoking party in the house.
You understand? Yes. You understand? So them things what they make at the see them like, you know. They will come do Ghana at their level, you know. They like they own a country, you know them ones. They go to bully people off the machine, you know them ones. So them
we need somebody we will talk with the market people to understand. If you want to win the election, you know, be there, but I can see the same way about we Kennedy see that. So you know the shadow plenty. You know how they move. You know, if you watch Canadian campaign.
Yeah, Kennedy, if you wear in jeans and in polo, you in the go, though, and it's on in boots.
But you know, that watch the people they watching now. Right now, if you be that guy where you are easily accessible, we go feel reach you, talk something we go feel resonate with. But I mean, you do economy. Right now, you talk digitization and digitalization. That one we
like it actually be sad say as a country, right? You want a last resort be Kennedy Japan them.
It's crazy, but how we go do them, you know? It's crazy, bro. Crazy, yeah. Thinking about it, it's crazy, but yeah.
But you said you don't try the economics themselves, and right now I'm going to try something. So Kennedy did something.
Like honestly, bro. I just know for this example, like the options all be so invalid. Bro.
Yeah, the options there be some way on both sides. The options be some way. The options be some way.
Actually, that be the democracy. That be the democracy. You for just rely on us, over the military black.
Yeah, fire, Charlie. What's up?
Bless up. Everything cool. Your people camp out. By now, I don't see your money come. I bought mama rough.
Yeah, man, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
You see, when it comes to the upcoming elections, right? I'll give a different perspective from what Mr. Cranton gave, because you can be very popular for the wrong reasons, and the elections is going to be 80% what the NDC does as far as delivery to the Ghanaians and 20% who is on the ballot. Let me tell you something. If you go Ghana and you go into the trenches, you go into the villages, the people know they really care about who's on the ballot per se, except for those who would vote for NDC or MPP, even if you put a goat on the ballot.
True.
But if you take those people aside, fire, the person they look at say, me koto tomatoes last year, ne ya hen. Me koto cement bag iron rods, ne ya hen. And ne ya hen. For the longest time, Ghana politics have been comparative analysis between the two sides. So as you talk the dollar matter, you see, unprecedentedly, the dollar, the city has appreciated historically against the dollar. 42% in less than maybe 9 months. And even with the rapid depreciation, we are still sitting around 27% appreciation. The whole 8 years of the MPP and the Kufuor and Bawumia, the cedi never fell below the number they took it at. They took it at 3.8. It never fell below 3.8 from January 7th all the way to the left office. What we've always been doing in Ghana is trying to reduce the level or the rate of depreciation. But for the first time historically, there has been a massive appreciation. So even if the cedi ends at, let's even say 18 in 2028, and you look at year on year or accumulative or average depreciation against the dollar, Ghanaians are still going to see that the cedi have been managed better. But that will be for the Ghanaians to determine. See, the difference between the NDC and MPP is that in the NDC, there's leadership. General Mosquito will not sit around and let Julius Deborah, Haruna Idrisu Dems dirty them my body for TV top like this. Right now, me, I be NDC. And they tell you, say, whether it's Bawumia, whether it's Ken or Brian Champon, I have 5 terabytes of hard drive, 1 terabyte for each of them. On their own actions and words, I will use against them to campaign. Ghanaians are looking at what the party did. And unfortunately for Bawumia and Ken especially, I mean, who would want president with the insult women? All these kind of inconsistent behavior. President will go UN, go fight for there. If you can say Ghanaians just they look at him because of the businessman. No. Bawumia, for example, he's the one who made the vice presidential position attractive because he was in charge of the economy. And he collapsed the economy, unprecedentedly failed. So if you can say Ghanaians go say Julius Deborah is not popular, but under Julius Deborah's political party, our lives have been better. But because Bawumia is popular, let me go vote for him. Those faction of Ghanaians, every party has a good 30, maybe 40% average. That the 11% that gets you the 50% plus one, they don't care about that. They do specific analysis. And if you follow the election period on XCSF, you will see young Ghanaians and the can politics they do, the can analysis and data with they extrapolate and compare. And I think for the NDC, I said when Ketia said something, or say, let's focus on delivering for the people. If you deliver, it doesn't matter who you bring, because the people are looking for better lives. Kufuor said, that has been sacrosanct in the mind of Ghanaians. So for me, what the MPP is lacking is leadership. Because
Akufo-Addo said, "You didn't qualify pre to me."
Thank you.
Bro,
and guess what?
Hard as fuck.
When he came to power, he brought, look at Ashanti region, the World Bank of the MPP, the chairman, to me.
Charlie, don't do this.
No, I can't. No, I want to make you understand something. Say,
Like make the guy land, make you land.
Yeah, I want.
They dance with the Granting party, so you know.
No, I make an analysis. You bear with me. Look at Bono Abronye is the chairman of the largest opposition party in the country.
Charlie?
Justin Frimpong Kodua, compare him to Fifi Kwete when they speak. What respect do they command? Frimpong Kodua cannot whip Abronye in line. Abronye sat on TV and insulted Frimpong Kodua. He said, anybody that offended the party, come back. General Mosquito will not even care if it's Mahama. He will put you through a process of reprimand to let you know you are not above the party. That lack of leadership in the MPP would definitely harm them post January 31st when they select their leaders. But the biggest thing is what the NDC delivers. Now, you said something about Mahama's encounter with the media. And Fire, I think that there are different types of journalists in Ghana. The comparison between Bernard Avile and Kevin Taylor it's not comparable. That's like comparing a CNN journalist to some of these MAGA journalists that you have who are just doing extreme partisanship. They all have the role they play. You understand? The Kevin Taylors and the Oketechi Kwame Fifas, they are